What's that? What's that?
Ghosts, imprisonment and unexplained death await the team as we journey to Transylvania.
There's something here.
And this week I've forsaken the shores of good old Blighty and the usual 24 hours for a two-night marathon of terror. I have brought you to the Carpathian Mountains of Transylvania and a fortified retreat with a very violent history for the first in a special two-part investigation. Welcome to Most Haunted and Raznov Night 1.
Sitting on top of a high and easily defended mountaintop, construction of the citadel's thick and heavily fortified rock walls began at the behest of the Teutonic Knights in the early 1200s, providing the town with a safe haven in a land constantly facing brutal invasion. The fortress fell to invaders only once, when lack of water forced the defenders to capitulate. Legend has it that following this defeat, 2 Turkish prisoners dug a well within the walls. Local folklore suggests that the devil and his legions inhabit the mountaintops, and since prehistoric times, many strange rituals have been performed in these places. Perhaps not unsurprisingly then, that the citadel abounds with strange tales of violent poltergeist activity, dark ghostly figures moving through its passageways, terrorizing the unsuspecting, eerie noises that defy explanation, and hushed tales of unkept promises, murder, and much more.
With so much death and destruction surrounding this place, who would have been brave enough to stay here alone and in the dark? Well, last night Carl and Stuart did just that, and this is what happened.
It's pitch black. You've got shards of light coming through from the windows, but that's it basically. And all of a sudden we're hearing bangs now.
That's not you, is it?
Put the camera on my feet, I'm not moving.
Is anyone there? It's gone cold already.
No, it's freezing, isn't it?
Where's your steps go to? Oh, come on, nothing ventured, nothing going.
Come downstairs now. If you'd like to come join us, please feel free. No.
What's that for?
I haven't touched it. I haven't touched it. I was behind you.
Sure.
Yeah, I thought you'd lost your balance or something.
It wasn't a... It was like... You know when if someone's really trying to get in your
Yeah.
you know...
Oh,
give
I
it
feel
a
like
load.
I can feel like
I actually think it felt like you'd gone... Either you had tripped or you'd gone... like that.
No, definitely not me.
If that's the best you can do... What the is that? Is that somebody laughing?
Someone's laughing at us.
That's somebody laughing.
Shaken by the apparent assault of an aggressive spirit and wondering what the maniacal laughter signified for the coming investigation, Carl and Stuart ended their vigil.
There are many myths and legends that permeate the very fabric of Transylvania, from werewolves to vampires, and Raznov has one of its own. Underneath this floor, a skeleton was discovered, and legend has it that its soul forever wanders the fortress, acting as a lonely sentinel, warding off evil and foretelling of danger to anyone who could see it. So is that the reason why a tall, dark, shadowy figure has been seen wandering the rooms and standing on the walls? Or is there something more sinister behind it? The view from this part of the fortress is stunning, but the peaceful countryside outside could never hide the fear that lurks inside along these dark corridors. Two figures are said to roam this area, terrorising guests and workmen alike. One is that of a large man dressed in rags who's seen crouching in the corners. When approached, he stands and runs at unsuspecting guests with his arms flailing, but vanishes before his threatening attack reaches anyone. The second is a lady in dark peasant dress. She slowly floats across these old floors, quietly moaning to herself, ignoring all that is around her. Some people who have witnessed her think that she's in pain. Others think she's searching for her murdered lover. Many of the outside areas in the Citadel are said to witness paranormal activity, and here is no exception. A group of dark figures are said to congregate here as though they are planning something. This apparition is also accompanied by low murmurs. Are they villagers from a more dangerous time debating their fate, or just the result of dim light and howling winds? We have 48 hours to find out.
Even though we already have enough to instill fear into all the Most Haunted crew, there is one area that taunts us and stands as a constant reminder of what lies in wait tomorrow night: the well. But before that, we have to get through tonight. Given the experiences of Carl and Stuart of last night and the many stories we had heard regarding the Citadel, what was Dr. Kieran O'Keefe expecting of the coming investigation?
Kieran, this is so exciting. Here we are in Transylvania, in the Carpathian Mountains. We're in the most fantastic citadel that has 800 years of history. I can't wait to get started. We're here for 2 nights.
I know, it's absolutely amazing. It's a dream for so many of us just to be in Transylvania, but to be in a location like this with so much history and also activity is just fantastic.
Now, as I said, we're going to be here for 2 nights. The first night we're going to concentrate on this particular area. What particular rooms are you interested in investigating tonight?
Well, there are a number of rooms. One of them, the skeleton room, particularly intrigues me, but more so because when the public actually visit this location, they just see the skeleton actually through a glass panel. But we've been given access to that, so it means we can conduct vigils later on and also perhaps use the skeleton as a psychometry experiment for David and see what he picks up with.
So many people are seeing this dark, sinister, shadowy shape, which they assume to be the ghost of the skeleton. They can't all be wrong. Workmen and thousands of visitors that come here year in, year out.
Yeah.
What are they seeing?
Well, you're exactly right. Within psychical research and paranormal investigations generally, we're always looking for sight of an apparition, but repeated, so independent witnesses are seeing the same thing, and certainly we're getting that. Maybe we're seeing a genuine apparition, maybe that's what, you know, we're actually getting these accounts for. In one particular location though, which is the viewing gallery, this area where you've got a magnificent view of the town, I am concerned that maybe EMF might be responsible for people having visual hallucinations. Certainly, having done some baselines earlier on today, there is a leap from about 0.3 milligauss up to about 40-45, and then even peaks at 245 milligauss.
That's a massive jump, isn't it?
And that's to do with the wiring in that particular location. For the rest of the area though, there doesn't seem to be any anomalous data that I'm getting.
Wary of Kieran's warnings and with an unease we had not experienced since our earliest investigations, we were all slightly on edge as we wondered what the coming hours had in store for us.
There seems to be a couple of people spreading a little bit of a web here. But you know, he's like right in your face.
Right.
He seems much more aggressive.
This picture's moving.
Which picture? And that one too.
What? This picture's moving. And this one's moving.
It's almost like I can see a big key going into a door, the door opening, and then it's almost like we let them in.
What's that? What's that?
Buoyed by the reassuring presence of David Wells, we began with his customary first look at the location, beginning with the viewing gallery high in the Citadel's walls.
There's a very strong impression coming. It's coming from here towards us of someone running at us.
Oh, right.
So someone running towards us, whether it's warning or whether it's aggressive, I'm not sure. A male figure. But you know, he's like right in your face.
Right.
Now, the problem I'm going to have is one of language. I know, you know, we've had this discussion, but it's